All right, everybody. Hello. How's it going? It is Friday, December 13th. It is Friday the 13th, which has been kind of a red day on the Bitcoin. So we'll see what's going to go if people are going to start selling off into the holiday season, claiming up their yearly gains. Hype is mooning. I am joined today by Astronaut Toad. Astronaut Toad, why don't you go ahead and say
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
so today's episode we're going to be doing kind of like I guess a rough tutorial on how to do spot. So if you go to www.cartoonmoneyprinters.com, you can join with the monthly subscription and get a month for free. That's the free trial. And then you can check us out and see if you like us and if we're a good fit for you. We have the par indicator. A lot of people specialize that in the community, as well as many other indicators, some of which were made here by Astronaut Toad. Very awesome, very good indicators. Yeah, come by the website, join the Discord, join the community. We have some sales going on now. But without further ado, Astronaut Toad, go ahead and take away the show, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, had honestly, I did not look at crypto at all today. All I did was DCA another $10 into hype, and that's it. That's all I did. I didn't look at Bitcoin or anything today. I took a trade on the NASDAQ in the morning, and then I walked away because it was a fantastic squeeze trade. So I wanted to show that off really quick before we get into the lesson tonight. And this is it. This is the market smasher filter down here. And I'll hide the drawings so you can see. This right here, when it shades gray, is my signal that it is time to FOMO into a trade. And basically what we had was this, not really a bullish divergence, but this low, these lows are almost equal lows. And these lows on the momentum oscillator are very not equal lows. So I'm calling it a bullish divergence. We could also check the money minter. I think there's something good going on there. But basically, this was a perfect 1 to 2 / 1 to 4 risk reward trade. Yeah, see, the money minter right here is giving me not that great of a signal, but if I pull up the regular candles, what do I see? Yeah, it was just barely a bullish divergence right around that time. Probably
you're on the
pars and everything.
You're on the 3-minute too.
Yeah, I'm on the 3-minute time frame. I generally prefer to trade crypto using the smasher on at least the 15-minute or preferably the 1-hour time frame. But for the stock market, it's only getting high volumes of trading for less than 8 hours a day, basically. So it's safer to jump down to the smaller time frames and look for what you want to see on the 1 minute, 3-minute, the 5-minute time frame. And so people have asked a lot about the squisher, the market smasher strategy overall. And yeah, there we go. Lower low. Bam. Rolling over. That's not the best signal, but it's a decent one. Anyways, that's the basic idea of the market smasher strategy. You are watching for a squeeze. You want it to look really nice and squeezy. And when you get the gray signal, then all you do is pick the direction that you think it's going to break and you target a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. Let's pull this up and bump this over here. So basically this goes right there, and then I'm entering as soon as the next candle goes any higher than the previous candle. Okay. Then the first thing I'm doing is I'm targeting a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, which lines up perfectly with these previous highs, because I'm still inside this range. So I've got the lows here. My stop loss goes below those lows. At the time, the stop loss was also below the orange cloud, which is great. So I'm targeting a 1-to-2, close half the trade there, and then target a 1-to-4 risk reward ratio with the remaining half of the trade. And that just goes beautifully. Even though it was counter trend for all the moving averages, I was looking at historic levels back here from these lows and just kind of gauging that this was a bullish manipulation down here. So that's why I went long instead of taking that as a short. But yeah, it turned out beautifully. Anyways, let's talk about this craziness that is going on right now called alt season. And I'm going to pull up my other chart here. This is the spaghetti chart. And what are we looking at? The 1 minute? Okay. What we have right now is somewhat of an alt season. As soon as Bitcoin hit 100K, ooh, that MDT. As soon as Bitcoin hit 100K, I have some lines here showing off when exactly that was. Where's the low? Maybe I gotta go all the way to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so it got up there. And then, is that the pump tonight to 100,000?
I think so. Yeah, that looks like
Yeah,
it.
because this high got to 99.
And it stayed there. And then that pump happened, and then they swept low liquidity right after that. Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm mostly looking at is when it went from 76,000 up to the 90s. It got to 90-ish. Yeah, there's election day. Okay, that's where I wanted to pull from. Election day. It was down in the 70,000s, not the 90,000s. So look at this chart. This is starting on election day. Let me add that.
Also known as Erection Day.
For crypto lovers, yeah. So starting on election day, this is what we're seeing on this chart here. You've got this, I call it the spaghetti chart. What you've got is Bitcoin did 44%, 45% pump since election day, okay? But you've got these other coins all on the same chart, and I'll show you how to do this, but H bar pumped over 700%, CRV is up 400%, XRP is up 375%, XLM is the same crooks as XRP. And all of these coins, a lot of these coins are no-name coins that you would have never guessed are going to pump, right? But they're up 200 to 500 plus %. And that is that's what you call an alt season, okay? And how do you catch these types of gains? Because let's be realistic, you're not going to hold a perpetual future with 10x or 20x or 100x leverage for this long. Or if you do, you're going to be paying a ton of funding rate fees because this is 38 days and 4 hours. what's 38 times 4? You're paying a funding fee that all that time. Basically, it's unrealistic to expect that you could hold a coin for this long and get 500% gains times 10x or 50x leverage, okay? So when we're using 10x, 20x, 50x leverage, we're trading perpetual futures and we're scalping and we're in and out of the market for just a few minutes or a few hours at a time. You want to pay like 1 or 2 funding rates per maximum. You want to be out of the trade. The funding rate pays, or you pay the funding rate every 4 hours or every 8 hours, depending on the exchange. But how do you catch a 500% or at least a 200% move? You do that by trading or holding spot coins, which means you're buying the actual coin, you're holding on to it for free, and you're selling it whenever you want later. Okay, the downside of this is there is no leverage, or if there is leverage, you can only get like 2 or 3x leverage, which is already more than I wouldn't use leverage on spot. I guess maybe 2x is fine, but the whole point of holding a coin on spot is that you cannot get liquidated. Like I have some coins on some exchange that I accidentally opened a position on 3x leverage, and then the coin price just dropped by like 30% or 50%, and now I've got nothing. I don't even know what to do with it. So I just closed my account with that exchange or ignored it and let it, like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna owe them money or something if it goes to 0. But anyways, that's why trading on spot is how you catch these crazy moves over the course of a month or 2 months or whatever. Okay.
There's also some
But the question
exchanges.
is,
There's also some exchanges that like prematurely closes your leverage trade. So if your like drawdown is 30%, they'll close it on you.
yeah. So what you want to do is you want to just buy the coin, 0 leverage, buy it on spot, and hold on to it. So all you're ever paying is a maker fee or a taker fee, and that's it. And you can hold on to that coin for a month or 6 months, and you can never get liquidated. Sometimes you'll get a random coin that gets like 50% drawdown or drop or whatever. But most of the time, the worst that could happen is it drops 5% or 10% or 20%, and you're not spending your entire portfolio on that one altcoin. Okay. So say you're holding a portfolio. Say you have $100, you're throwing $10 at this coin, $10 at that coin, $20 at the really strong coin that you believe in, but you've still got $20, $30, $40, $50 laying around in case another coin comes up that you really like the project. Okay. So at worst, you're in whatever percent of your whole portfolio and it gets drawn down by 10, 20%, but you're never going to get liquidated and have your account totally go to 0. So that's the main advantage of trading on spot. But how do we find these types of coins before they go nuclear? That is the big question. Well, the first thing you have to do is time it right. It has to be a market cycle that is a bull cycle. Because you're buying a coin on spot, you cannot short the coin, usually. So you have to time it when the market is going up, and it's going up quite crazily. That's when you can trade altcoins or any coin on spot and do well, which is right now we are in that time. It could be over soon, but it seems like we're doing all right. And so here we are looking for which coins are going to do something crazy like this. Well, where do you start? You start by building a chart like this and just checking to see which coins are at the top over the course of the last 30 days, the last 60 days, the last 15 days. So for example, this is 30 days-ish right now. I am going to draw another vertical line right in the middle just for no reason. And then I'm going to see which coins are at the top of the chart. And Aave is doing great. Link is coming up. XRP is still doing all right. ENA. So I might be looking to get some of these coins that are in the middle. Ondo, I like Ondo. There's one logic and reason to this method that you want to take a note on, and that is familiarize yourself with the coins that are currently popular and fresh and new, and they're doing well in they're new to this market cycle. They represent, like AI coins. We're almost to the end of AI coins, and now we're at decentralized exchange coins, or exchange coins in general, because the narrative right now is that crypto is going to be favorable in the US again. Okay, so that's why we're getting to, have I added hyper to this yet? Ooh, let's do that. So let's get to that in a second. I'm going to show you how to build this chart. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to look at a chart like this, and we're just going to know this coin CRV. This is an old piece of trash from 2021 bull market. Same thing with H-bar. It's kind of old, maybe from, is it 1 or 2 or 3 years old? I don't know. I forget. But either way, this is old trash. You could get in on a pump, but after it's been pumping already, it's kind of, the train has left the station without you. So I got in on Aave. I think we made a call in the group, and a bunch of people got in on Aave. This is another old coin. Sushi is a really old coin. It's been dead for 2 years or something. So these are not the coins to go all in on. You throw a few dollars at them and you walk away. Ondo, that's a new cycle coin. Link is in its XRP could be in its heyday. ENA is a coin that could be going to the moon in this particular cycle. Uni, that's a coin that is ancient and dead. Another ancient dead coin. Sui, there's a good coin. This is, oh man, it's only, quote unquote, only up 43% over the last week. Let's see where Sui is on the month. Did I put it up at the top? Yeah, it's buried down here somewhere. Anyways, Sui. Yeah, I'm going to throw another $10 at Sui after I'm done with this live stream, because it's getting to become a strong coin. Okay. So familiarize yourself with whichever coins everybody's talking about. And you can also go to different websites besides TradingView, and you can look at what coins people are getting interested in. This is coinalyze.net. And what I've done is I've gone to the main page, and I have hit the sort. I'm sorting the coins by open interest change. You can see that open interest is basically how many, not just how many people are the trading volume, but how many orders are hitting the market right now. So look at Bitcoin. It's got $40 billion of volume actually being traded. Its market cap just hit 2 trillion. Congratulations, Bitcoin. But the open interest is 32 billion, which is not that crazy. So what you want to look for is coins where the open interest is going up. Sometimes you'll get a coin. This is very rare, but this is a number one signal. Take notes on this. If you get a coin, it's a relatively new coin, and the market cap gets eclipsed by the open interest, you don't see it all the time. But if you see a market cap at like 100 million and then the open interest is like 150 million, what that means is everybody is ready to pile into this coin, and it's like a crowded, packed club or party or whatever, where there is a line out the door to get into this venue. What does that mean? Where price has nowhere to go but up, because there's literally more people interested in the coin than the current market cap of that coin. Okay, which means the market cap itself is about to explode. So that's the number one signal. If you see market cap on the smaller coins where it's like less than a billion, it's like 10 million or 1 million or 100 million. And if you see open interest go higher than that, then that's, you just start packing your bags. After that, the number two signal is open interest change in the last 24 hours. We're going to sort by that. And we're just going to look at all of these coins that are towards the top. Chill Guy, we've heard of that one a bunch. Bonk, MDT, that's 1 year old, but it's doing all right. Request, we've been hearing about that one lately. I'm going to click on this request, and it's going to show me a TradingView style chart. But this down here is open interest, and this is data that you cannot get on TradingView. So that's what you're going to look at. Open interest has absolutely mooned, but knowing what we know about how high a coin can go, this is only up 30% so far. So what do you do if it's possible that this might go 500% or whatever? You want to get in on this coin. Well, we're going to do some technical analysis and draw market structure. For example, I think you can see pretty obviously that this level right here, this historic level, is where you might want to get in on a trade. Go for a bounce off of that range, okay? And then you've got this low right here. Here's your emergency, oh no, level. So these two levels, it broke below, and then it bounced back up strongly. So right now you're looking to get in right here. You've got this nice red candle. So on the 1 hour chart, you might throw just $5 at this coin on spot, and then set another $5 order for down here or down here or down here. Okay. But we're doing that with the knowledge that, say, I'm going to put in a long position here. This could draw down 9% or let's say 12% before I really want to get out of this coin. Give my stop loss 15%. So say I throw just $10 at this coin, I'm only going to potentially lose $1.50. Okay. You could throw $100 at this coin and only potentially lose $15. Because you're going to sell the coin down here, maybe. Or you can decide, hey, you know what? If it gets down here, I'm going to add to the position and then just sell when set a sell order for it to get back up here. But that's more advanced stuff. We'll get to that in a second. What we need to do now is, let me check my notes. Please take notes on any key things and leave questions in the comment section if you have any questions. But what we want to do now is I'm going to go back to my Bitcoin chart.
There's also like a strategy of I've gotten advice from financial advisors as far as what to do in any condition with money. So diversifying your portfolio is always a good thing. So for me, I think about putting money into interest-bearing accounts. I think about hodling spot bags. I throw some in the stock market. I'm buying stocks that throw dividends my way. I've also diversified in land. There's this app that I use where I get essentially it's a REIT, so I get buy shares of properties and then get dividend kickbacks from that. So the strategy is to not put all your money away in in the same place. So if that pops,
Yeah.
you're not going to go completely tits up.
Yeah. We're trading. We're treating spot trading like it is a safer form of gambling compared to perpetual futures trading with leverage. But it's still a high risk, semi gamble. And whenever somebody calls it a long-term investment, like, hey, right now you get all the DMs about XRP. Everybody's saying, hey, is it too late? Should I buy XRP now? And I tell them, well, let's pull it up. Yeah, you should. The time to buy was back here. Okay. That's it. Sorry.
Pull up the squisher.
But what's that?
Pull up the squisher or the smasher.
Oh yeah, let's reveal that. Oh yeah, I got some lines here for the reload.
Oh no, the bandwidth.
Oh hey, I got an old forecast. Oh well, look at that, it's pulling. Hey, it's going right into my forecast. Ooh, I might need to short XRP soon here. Gotta check this out. But yeah, so we had a bit of a signal on the squisher, but it's been doing a bunch of this, so I probably wouldn't have noticed that long there. I gave a couple signals here. I don't think the weekly chart did not give a proper signal because it was just ranging.
Throw in High Kanashi. Yeah, you read my mind.
Yeah, it got real thick. And honestly, we should have, this is the weekly chart. When you get this much of an accumulation on the weekly chart, this is where you should be packing your spot bags and waiting, okay? So this is the next step of, let me check my notes. Where are we? When the market is calm, or when any coin is calm during a relative bull market, you see this. This is our indicator in our Discord, the market smasher. When you see this on the weekly chart, you don't know it's going to go to the moon, but you should be, especially when you see this, because see how you got a little faint bit of, this is the fire hose. When this squeeze fires and you've got, let's make it orange. You've got it constricting like that, okay? Actually, I should make it the opposite of orange so you can see it better. No. Yeah, there you go. See how that is tightening? This is a signal, hey, pack your bags, it's going. That right there. When you see that funnel, everybody knows what a wedge looks like, right? And that wedge pattern is a classic trading pattern that they just say, oh, trade, buy the breakout of the wedge. That's not something you can blindly do to every wedge you see. You want to, and that's why we created this indicator, to actually show you when you have a major situation, and then hey, this is, something is building here. So if you see this on the weekly chart or the daily chart, what you do is you start setting a limit order on spot to just buy the bottom of the orange blob, okay? You don't have a stop loss because you're buying spot, and you're just assuming and hoping that it doesn't crash completely. Because this right here is from top to bottom, this is a 45% drop, okay? So if you bought the top of this and then it drops down, if you threw $100 at this, you're down to $50 or so, okay? That's crazy. So for that reason, what I say is set a limit order to just buy the bottom blindly or recklessly, and just designate, okay, I'm going to throw $100 at this, and I'm only going to do it $10 at a time, okay? So you see this start squeezing. You see it making this nice pattern. So you start putting in orders and you get $10 there. Maybe you see it break out of this like that. And then after that breakout, you do a retracement forecast and say, okay, this broke out and it's going in the direction that I want to. I am going to throw my next investment, or quote unquote, a trade, hold, not an investment, is going to be on if this retraces down, okay? So it retraces down and then you get what? You get 100% move right there. Oh my gosh. You definitely take some profits at 100%. Okay, so you threw $10 at it here, you threw $10 at it here. You're $100, you're 100% up, or from here you're up 200%. So whatever, your profit right there at this point, you should have $20 or so out of the market, and you've still got 20-ish dollars in the market. So you've got a free trade at this point. Then you say, hey, you know what? I'm $20 in the money and I've got 20 bucks or whatever in a free trade. I'm going to double down. And if I see this squeeze again, I am going to grab that low again. Now here it gets a little scary because it stabs below that low and then it comes again to the low. And you might, it would be reckless to go all in again with all of your money on this and keep buying those lows. So I would probably leave it alone and walk away. But alternatively, let's say you missed this whole initial entry here. You're coming to the chart here and you're like, oh man, I missed this whole opportunity. Now that's when you start buying these dips. So your first $10 you're in here, and then you're in for another $10 here, or whatever you're throwing at the coin, $100, $1,000. Just add or subtract zeros based on your comfort level with potentially kiss it goodbye for 6 months or 3 months or whatever type of money. Okay, let's see what this was from here. If you had held from here to here, that is 763 days. All right, are you willing to say goodbye to your money for that long? Hopefully. That's the name of the game. Even from this first buy right here, you're holding on 230, 40 days, okay? So when you're on the weekly chart, you need to be willing to hold it for at least 10 to 20 candles, which 10 to 20 1-week candles, let's say you got in here on this pump, you're holding it for 245 days. That's 35 candles. That's usually I say give it at least 10 to 20 candles. Right here, you got a good pump at 20 candles after this entry. You might, if this is your first rodeo, you might get scared and sell a little bit or all of it on this pump here. 85% gains on throwing $10 or $100 at a coin. That's fantastic. Honestly, I would not fault you if you got in with $100. Now you have $185. sell $100 worth of that coin and just have the $85 riding, and then you just forget about it until you see this and you check the charts again. Trading on this time frame, you only have to check the charts once or twice a week. And that's the slow pace of spot trading. Okay. But you will eventually get to a point where you are trading on house money if you hold this long, because you're waiting for those 100 or 200% pumps, and then you close half of that trade at 200% gains, and you've got a free trade. Okay, so that's the overall strategy. And let me check my notes. There's a whole bunch of other stuff we can go over. Generally, the problem is, how do we know when it's going to go pump crazy? And how do we find the coins? We already talked a little bit about how to find the coins. I do want to go back to Bitcoin and show you guys how to make the spaghetti chart.
We should also go over DCAing a little bit too.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, before we do that, this is a great example of DCA. There's a bunch of different ways you can get into and get out of a position on spot. One of them is you just say, hey, I'm going to invest in this coin. The next time I see a signal, whether it's a squeeze or a par, major par, let's pull up RSI since it's similar to par, but we want to see it on the weekly. Okay, here is RSI. Go back to my regular candles. On the RSI, we have got a pretty major bull divergence right there. And that is because the oscillator is making higher lows while price is making lower lows. Okay. And again, we're on the weekly chart. If you are trading without leverage, you have to be playing the long game usually in order to get substantial gains. So here we are, we're saying, okay, I'm just going to throw $100 at the coin when I see this signal right here. So somewhere, anywhere in this area, you decided to get in and you are long from there. Okay. I'll just do a long. Let's say, to give you a terrible entry, quote unquote, and say you bought the top here thinking that was it. Well, you had to withstand a 20-something% drawdown, 26% off that low. You got to hold on for dear life, which is why I say just throwing money at one coin once is not the best idea. Say you've got this signal on the weekly chart, you have to ask yourself, what if it goes lower? Am I willing to hold on for a month or 6 months or 12 months? And am I willing to either kiss all of that money goodbye forever if the coin never comes back, which is less likely if you're buying the strong coins that have a future? Or here's the optimal idea, and that is dollar cost averaging into your long-term position. Say, for example, the RSI is at the lows. It made this low here. Now it's making a higher low on the RSI and some lower lows. What you do is you say, okay, it's green light. I think this might go to the moon from here, but I'm not sure. So instead of, I've got $1,000, Instead of throwing all $1,000 at this coin right now, I am just going to satisfy my inner degenerate gambling addict, and I'm just going to get skin in the game to the tune of $100 right now. So you bought right here. You got in. Let me zoom in. You got into the market right there. Okay, I'm going to hide the smasher for a second. And let's drop the opacity on this a little bit. Oh, I'm going to hide the stats. You got in right there. You're going to learn really quick. Hey, I'm glad I didn't throw all $1,000 at this, because the very next week it crashed again. So what did you do? Instead of throwing all $1,000 at that coin, you only threw $100 at the coin to satisfy your craving to get a piece of the action. You saved the rest of your money, and you say, you know what? This 1 week candle is amazing. Bitcoin is on sale. Okay. Now I'm throwing another $100 at it down here. So I am dollar cost averaging into the position. Then nothing happens for this whole month or 2 months, okay, down at this low. You can choose, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. You can choose to say, all right, you know what? This is such a good price and I'm so confident. I'm just going to throw another $100 at this coin every single month that it stays below this level, okay? So you could be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are in for $900 of your $1,000 at the absolute best possible price on almost all of this long-term move, okay? So suddenly, you're in.
Can I shill a little bit? I don't want to interrupt your lesson. I just wanted to throw an idea out there.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Okay, so in this group, since we missed the last time, like Bitcoin was this low, and I believe in Bitcoin so much, and this isn't financial advice, but for me, I'm going to when Bitcoin starts getting down to this level, I'm going to be doing extra jobs. I'm going to be shoveling snow. I'm going to be mowing yards. Any chance that I can make just a little bit of money to throw into a spot bag next time I see a level like this, and I will be screaming to high heavens when I, it's like now's the time to start considering for me to purchase my spot bags and dollar cost averaging into a position on Bitcoin. So if you join the community, like you'll hear me pulling out my hair. You probably won't see me because I'll be doing it like yard work or whatever it takes to come up with a little bit. But man, joining the group I think is going to be super helpful for bouncing these ideas around and getting people confident into reading the charts. Not financial advice, just educational purposes only.
Yeah, let's see. So here we are. I am going to throw what am I? Yes, one Bitcoin. Is this a micro? Yeah, that seems about right. Basically, if you got in down here, you're not complaining about missing out on 1 or 2 of the best purchases in this spot bag. Or even if you got in at any of these other lows, which now we will we'll move on to talk about other
we're not
aspects
we're
of
not going to see 15K on Bitcoin probably ever again in our lifetimes.
yeah.
But with technical
But
analysis and what
here's
we
one
teach
thing
you,
I'll show you.
with technical analysis and what we teach inside of the server here, if it gets to a level where the you're in discount and like savage discount, we'll give you the skills. At least that's our hope, is to get you to develop the skills to recognize when it's buy season. And the markets never stop, and
Yeah.
Bitcoin is a finite currency, a finite commodity, a finite item. There's only so much of it. There's estimates I saw today on a podcast about 25% of Bitcoin is lost. And out of all the
Yeah.
Bitcoin that's out there, it's lost. Like it's in, burnt hard drives. It's on.
It's on a USB drive in a landfill,
Yeah,
buried
it
for
is
good. Yeah.
not going to be coming back. That coin is not going to re-enter in the market. So that means
Yeah.
Bitcoin is on its way to the moon.
Yeah. So here, for example, this is now that I've shown you a bunch of examples of amazing pumps and how they, the crazy gains that are possible, I want to show you a few tricks that you should have up your sleeve for the future, to plan starting now. For example, we're doing just a basic technical analysis on the chart. Again, I'm still on the weekly time frame, and what I'm looking at is this is the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They have Bitcoin futures now, and there is a thing called a CME gap, which has like a 90-something% probability that the gap will fill. What this is the CME is closed for certain hours of the day when it is not traded. And during that time, sometimes an asset, whether it's a stock or a indice or whatever, it will jump at the open after the close of the previous day. So for example, this is what we see right here. It closed this week in November, and then it opened higher. And this is a CME gap, which has a 90-something% chance that it will fill. It is also the 50%, I've got my ranges right here. This is also the perfect 50% retrace of this whole range. So literally right now, after this stream is over, or while you're watching it on your phone, get that $10 or $100, go on your wallet or your centralized exchange or whatever decentralized exchange that gives you access to spot. You can actually buy decentralized exchange spot on Hyperliquid. I believe they have Bitcoin on spot.
They do. I'll double check. But this is not financial advice. This is what me and an astronaut toad are gonna do.
So this is again, this is a gamble. You are buying. Full disclosure, not because I'm legally not allowed to say this, but because it literally is true. You're buying a lottery ticket, okay? This is not an investment. This is not financial advice. But with that being said, this level right here, there should be a resting order, $79,300 some odd dollars. You should have a $10, $100, whatever you can afford to kiss goodbye for a month or 5 months or 6 months or a year. Not because you might lose that money, but because you're kissing it goodbye because it's locked into an order. The price, it might not get down to this level until February of 2025. We don't know.
BTC is not on spot on Hyperliquid.
Okay, so you're gonna have to use Coinbase or some stinky exchange
or
like that.
There is the option of BISC, which is I don't know if it's decentralized, but You can do peer-to-peer transactions. So you could actually
Yeah, but
buy it from
all
the
you need is
dude down
something
the
with a
street.
limit order, because you want to lock in or have your money ready and waiting at this level. It's called a stink bid, because what can happen, I'll show the XRP example. It was beautiful. Where was it? Was it the 4 hour?
I'm actually surprised it's not on spot on there. I wonder if it's too expensive for the exchange. That's why.
There it is. So this right here is the...
That would make sense. If it's too expensive for the exchange, like they can't buy spot to hold to sell to somebody of Bitcoin when it's at that price. There's not enough liquidity on exchange and nobody to actually hold and conduct and facilitate the transaction.
Yeah. There it is. Okay. This is the chart. See right here? What we're looking at is the fair value gap on the weekly chart, but also the 618 golden pocket, Fibonacci golden pocket of this low, this double bottom equal lows here. And I did not get this order, but this is a great example of when you should have a resting order to add to a spot bag. So for example, XRP mooned, as we all know, and it went from whatever, 40 cents, it's up 500%. But we can add to our spot bags because we believe that in the long run, this is a 12-month or 2-year, 5-year plan to hold this coin. What you do is you do a little bit of technical analysis like this, and we go over this every week, so I'm not going to go over it too much right now, but it's basic technical analysis of drawing market structure to say, okay, where are the lows, where are the gaps? And then you draw the range and say, here's the 50%, here's the golden pocket. It really went to the moon, so I'm not going to recklessly enter at the 50%. I'm going to go in at the golden pocket. But look at the precision of this entry. It went in literally 0.02 cents. It tapped this level by 0.04, no wait, $1.90, 0.4 cents. It tapped this level by 0.4 cents, and then it soared back up. So if you had gotten in there, you'd be up 20% there. And where are we now? I think it might retrace lower, but you're up 30% already.
On spot, that's amazing.
30% on a spot trade with zero leverage is fantastic. And so we're just adding to our position for the long term with a bet like this. Personally, I don't really trust XRP for the long haul.
Nor do I.
I think that we have a situation here where the historical chart is all of the pumps generally retrace to their beginning again. So if I'm looking at this and I see it go like this, what are you expecting it to do eventually?
Throw a fixed volume range profile from the beginning to the end.
Okay, well, let's find the biggest chart.
Also, what was I gonna say?
Okay. No. Bitstamp. There's the crazy Bitstamp. That's the one.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
So
Also, when you're looking for these coins, do your research. Look at its functionality. See if it's something that actually is needed and which is within the current day's narrative. AI was hyping really good for a while there, but the narrative's changed. So stay on top of your news and then keep an eye on those sectors. Do your research. See
yeah,
if the coin is functional or it has some sort of utility to it. Because if not, you might be buying a meme coin, and meme coins, I don't trust at all.
yeah. A meme coin to trade on spot is a one cycle thing, in my opinion. We're only buying Doge right now because it's like the biggest of all the meme
It's
coins.
part of the narrative.
You ain't hearing anybody talking about trading SHIB or whatever other meme coins were popular at the same time as Doge.
Mhm.
Those old coins, even the strong, valuable infrastructure coins, are mostly considered pump and dump coins now. But here's what I want to show you about the long-term chart.
And they're also inflationary
XRP,
coins. I'm sorry, they're also inflationary coins. They can print as much of that coin as they want to,
yeah.
just like the dollar.
So here's the problem that I have with XRP. All of its pumps retrace back to zero. This pump started, let's call it here, this candle, it retraced back and below the start. This pump here, should we call it? Yeah, that's sort of the start of that. So historically speaking, this thing has a track record for just going back to where it started. Therefore, if you got in anywhere in this range, you should be selling so much of your bag up here that you will not hate yourself if it ever gets back down to 50 cents. Because just look at the chart and say, historically speaking, yeah, it has gone up because it started at it started at 1 cent or whatever it started at, below 1 penny. So even from those lows, it is up a ton. But since then, what do we have? We have these massive, insane pumps, and it retraces back to zero. So that's my final message is, please, for the love of God, take profits. And the same way that you have those crazy bids, go back to Bitcoin.
A good rule of thumb
Oh.
for me is at least get what you put into it out. You
Yeah.
know?
So here's my deal. We're assuming that BTC is likely to go way over 100K eventually. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, but you can imagine Bitcoin being $250,000, $1 million, whatever. You got your stink bid set for way down here at 78K. I'd put more bids even lower. Have it because you got a support level here. Put another bid just for fun way down at 68K or something. Okay. Because as you saw with that XRP example, it might go like this. It might go up here forever. Everybody's like, oh, yay, never coming back, never coming back. It might go down to your entry and then come right back up so fast that you never have a chance to get in. So that's why you have a bid ready, a stink bid, it's called, ready and waiting way down there, because you're probably not going to be able to do all of your technical analysis and set your alert and be like, okay, let's watch for a bullish divergence, blah, blah, blah. You might not get that. You're gotta be willing to just say, all right, I want to buy at this level. and I don't care if it goes lower. This is just such a good deal. And then when it goes higher, you're 100% gain at only, quote unquote, 150 something K. So all you got to do is sell half of your position, and then you've got a free trade. But the same way that you got into this trade of saying, you know what, I'm just going to have a bid, or I'm just going to have a limit order sitting there ready and waiting, you have to do the same thing with this moon pump craziness of, especially if you're going into coins besides Bitcoin. Okay, if you are looking at random altcoins, let's go back here and say, what do we got? REQ. Okay, I'm gonna pull up REQ. No, I want to pull up hype. Liquid. Hey, look at that. Wowzer. Oh, hey, it broke 20 bucks. Oh, I'm glad I threw $10 at it earlier.
I found the best one with actual like volume data is hype on OKX. It's the futures. But hype USDC.
There we go. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's good. So here is what you do. This is the final touch of your, oh, look at that perfect golden pocket tap. There's your entry. Got your fib. This TP1 is for scalping. But let's say you got in way down here on this golden pocket and your stop loss was below the danger level or below the safe SL. Only a 17% loss, not bad. What do you do now? You take some profits at 100% gain. Oh, hey, look, it lines up perfectly with that line. Nice. That's why I have these lines at these levels. This is the 2.618 Fibonacci extension. But you also have not a stink bid, but a, I guess you could call it FU money bid of, if price got so high, I would be glad to, like, I don't care if it keeps going higher. I want to get out and sell a ton. And usually I go for like a Fibonacci extension of like 5.0. 200%, that's amazing. Especially because I believe on Hyperliquid, you can do 2x on your spot trading, although no, I don't recommend it.
They got leverage. It's a leverage trade.
Oh, so it's not spot, it's leverage.
Yeah, they do perps.
I thought it was 2x on spot.
Excuse me, you can do up to 3x on leverage. I think that's the only exchange that has it on leverage right now. I don't know, don't quote me.
Either way, what you want is to have the same thing. You have a resting sell order at the crazy number that you're like, if this hits in my sleep and I wake up tomorrow and I am just kicking myself for not selling even a few dollars of this, I am going to hate myself for a long time. That's where you set a resting order, maybe call it crazy and go for like 50 bucks or something, or front run it and do like $49 some odd cents or something.
It's going to be 4,200, 420.
$4,200.
No, $42 and like exactly, but 420.
4242. Yeah. You set your resting order to just sell half of it or 20, 30, 40% of your position or your holdings at this amazing, fun, exciting, congratulations level. Okay. We know, based on what we've seen, that it could go 1,000%, especially if the cycle continues for a while. You could be looking at $145 per coin. BNB, and I think BNB is the most pricey of the exchange coins. It is $700 a coin right now. So yeah, you want to hold on to these coins on spot for the long haul or for the whole bull cycle or whatever. But you do want to be taking profits along the way. And the way you do that is you have a resting order for a really high level, or let's say it gets way up towards the top of this. Bring that back down. Say it gets way up and you see a market structure break. It gets all the way up here. It almost touches your final order, but then it goes down below. That's when you go, oh man, it just barely missed my take profit. When this right here breaks below that low, you go, okay, you know what? I'm just going to manually sell. I'm not going to get greedy and foolish and reckless and hold on to the whole entire bag. I'm going to sell a little bit. You could sell it on a retrace and get out up at that level.
That's probably some of the best advice in spot trading is not getting greedy and taking profits.
Yeah, because as you've seen, it doesn't matter how functional and useful the coin is. You can believe in cryptocurrency technology and blockchain technology. You can believe that that is the future that is going to save humankind. I don't care. You still have to assume, what if in the long run, this thing is just generally going to be worth 20 bucks forever? Or it's going to go to 20 bucks and stay there for 5 years before it gradually builds up to the next cycle.
Yeah. Also, not
you are going,
advice.
if that does happen, you're going to sell out of some of that way down here at 20 bucks, and then it's going to go to $500 and you're really going to be pissed. So when you see these types of like, oh man, just sell a little bit, take some profits, congratulate yourself, and walk away for a while.
The only coin that I personally think is not going to follow that cycle and to always have in your spot portfolio, again, not financial advice, just educational only. For me, it's Bitcoin because of its intrinsic value. Like, that's the only one where hodling it, even at 90K, is still a fantastic idea.
Yeah. I think BTC is the one coin where I would say you should plan on spending the rest of your life never being 100% out of your spot bag of holdings. You should, I don't care how low it goes. You do want to take profits every giant green candle you see, but you never want to be 100% out of your position, because you just always want that. It is a store of wealth digitally.
It is so fantastic, and that the hedge funds, the major institutions, the financial hodlers are like, all right, we need to add the fuck to this, add to our portfolios.
Yeah, you're going to want to just be adding or subtracting to your Bitcoin holdings for life. You're going to add a little bit if it has a terrible, scary red week and it's just crashing like crazy. You're going to throw another $10 at it. If it's just mooning, absolutely going bonkers, and it's, ripping towards 150K and you got a massive green candle week, you're going to sell a little bit. But either way, you're never going to have zero of that asset. And the same thing with a few other coins. You're going to hold them for a good long while.
It is, and I just want to give a little advocacy to cold storage. I personally have cold storage, and I have a a bag that I stick that bad boy in.
There you go. Nice.
So I mean, as far as cold storage, throw it in a Faraday bag. You will not regret it. Put it in a safe.
All right, so we're about done. I do want to just look at some coins and see what's going on with the market right now. To just kind of go through what we talked about and see if we can just kind of show examples of where we're going with the market overall. So I'm going to go to Coinalyze, open interest. And I'm sorting by open interest change in the last 24 hours. We already looked at REC and MDT. I've never heard of this coin, PRCL. That's a crazy chart. Get rid of RSI, pull up a smasher. Yeah, look at that. Gave a little bit of a squeeze there on this bullish divergence of momentum. That was a great buying opportunity. This one's got a dip. That was an even better buying opportunity. What is it up right now? 100%. That's nice. This is really retracing crazily, though. It might. I want to look at the smaller chart and see what's going on. Yeah, this is a potentially. Oh wow! So that this entire pump was probably from just one. Oh, look at that! Hey guys, this is a great example of market manipulation. Look at this. This pump, massive pump, was triggered by almost no volume. Okay. Somebody was watching the chart and they said, hey, you know what? I can manipulate price. I hold enough of this coin that if I just buy a little bit more, price will go through the moon because there's no orders. What this person did was they bought a little bit right here. There's your green volume. They bought 8.4K of this coin. It's only 0.5 cents. So they bought $4,000 of this coin. There's probably other people buying here, but let's just say that one big player bought about $8,000 worth of this coin at 40 cents, okay? So they spent less than 4K on this coin. Then look at this massive order. Somebody has 90K worth of this coin to sell. What the heck was happening? Well, what happened was somebody has been accumulating this coin, building up a position. They hold 90,000 of these coins. They have a sell order somewhere up here, probably a trigger order right there. Okay, so they bought, let's say their average entry price is down there, 70% down. That is amazing. Got some buys here. Let's pick that green candle. 75% gain. They have 90,000 of this coin to sell, okay? 90,000 times 0.7. They've got more than 50 grand worth of this coin. If it is up here at this price, 77% gain. So what they did was they spent 4 grand to manipulate the price of this coin to rip up. They had their limit order or their market order trigger waiting up here. It got hit and they sold between 0.7 and 0.6. So somebody made an absolute bank.
It was probably
profit.
It was probably some 13-year-old kid who just spent all of his bar mitzvah money and just fucking like 8x'd it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then said, fuck
So
you
this
while
is
on live stream.
Yeah. This is a great example of market manipulation. Whenever you see a chart like this, the 1 minute chart, and it's just like useless, you can't really see anything. But hey, you know what? This coin, let's look back at the 4-hour chart. That is some decently consistent volume. It is being traded pretty steadily. I am going to say, based on this, we'll pull this up next week or in a month or 2 months. We'll pull this up again. I'm going to say, hey, look, there's a nice trend line right here. And there is a Fibonacci. This golden pocket already got tapped. Obviously, that got reaction, and then it wicked below again. So let's do the same thing. We are going to say right there, there's your 618. I am going to say, again, this is all a guess or a theoretical. I'm going to say buy a little bit at that level, lottery tickets, and then a little bit more. You're just going to kind of check it every weekend or every few days and update it so that it follows this green line up. It might not get there until here. It might not get there until it's all the way over here and you're paying about the same price. But I guarantee you, there's a good chance that it'll be one of these amazing entries. And you get to, the degenerate gambler in you gets to feel really, really happy when you get an entry like this and you're just like, zero drawdown. And it went up by almost 200% in a few hours.
And just to be clear, he doesn't guarantee it, and it's not financial advice. don't be a degenerate gambler.
This is a coin I've never heard of.
Yeah, me either.
So I'm absolutely gambling, buying a lottery ticket on this type of trade. You do not want to be doing this with your whole spot portfolio. This is a calculated gamble of saying a small percentage of the money I am willing to kiss goodbye and lose, I am going to allot for this type of possibility. And then we can do the same thing and just go down the list and look for something. You know what, chill guy. Oh, I heard about Fartcoin actually. Oh my gosh. This is so funny. Oh my gosh, you cannot make this stuff up. Here we go, same thing. Nice market structure.
Again,
good,
some 13-year-old kid is like, I want to get Fartcoin to $1.
Oh. So price action is looking good. Again, we teach market structure every week in the Discord. You can learn this type of stuff really easily. We love to talk about it. I love to talk about it, at least. You got a bullish break of structure right there. Then this low is right there. So that's your 1-day range. We're doing the fib retracement from that low to the current high. And you got to check this every day and maybe update it. If it pumps even higher, you just get in the habit of not missing out. Because, oh, hey, look at this. You've got a fair value gap. And it lines up with the 1-day break of structure. And it lines up with the equilibrium of the whole range. So what do you think we're going to do? We are putting an order right there. There's your lottery tickets right there. And then you do the same thing. By the way, when I draw the range, discount is also the, it's at the golden pocket. Try this, labels. There you go. So there's your 0.5, there's your golden pocket. So there is your 2 lottery ticket purchases right there. Okay. Nice little levels. You got some confluence. You can see how these highs are kind of lining up. and you get some confluence there. You got to be ready for this. Is a pretty crazy one because it's a total degenerate meme coin. Literally, look at the name. If you think this is financial advice, look at the ticker of the asset we're watching. 60% drawdown to the daily low. Okay, so that's why you're only throwing $10 or $20 at this thing total, because you might kiss that money goodbye to the tune of 60% or more. Okay. You can have a resting sell order and say, you know what, if it goes below the 786, I'm out of here. So you're only doing 30% drawdown. If if you're in for 20 bucks, then you're out at 15 bucks or so. That's fine. But this is what you do. This is how you do it. We've seen that this thing has crazy interest. Open interest has been spiking. We know that it might go higher, and we are just going to not succumb to the FOMO. And if this breaks out of this high, you're not buying that breakout. Please, for the love of God, do not do an 80% potential drawdown. Okay. There we go. I'm having fun. Has anybody got a coin that they've heard of?
Well,
I'll check the comments.
Let's call the live stream here, and then we can continue it in the after for the
let's take it to the private members, and we'll check out a couple more coins.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure to go to cartoonprinters.com, www.cartoonprinters.com. Come check us out. You get the free month. We also have deals going on for